And it was like this situation where I'm my own boss and I'm a terrible boss because I'm not letting myself take any downtime or have a vacation. And that has changed drastically for me over the last 3 years.
Family and I went to Mexico, and this is a kind of trip that we don't typically take, like a beach holiday. But we went, and it was warm, and we hung out by the pool and on the beach and ate lots of tacos, and it was great.
Good.
Yeah, and it was very much stop working, just be fully present in the vacation mode. So I really appreciated that part.
So I was actually going to ask you a little bit about that and kind of take a topic detour before we get into our normal chat. Because I was thinking about how when I came to you for coaching, one of the things that I remember telling you was I can't go on vacation or on a trip because I have overwhelming anxiety the whole time that I'm there, that I'm missing an email or I'm not going to get back to someone in time, or, shit's going to hit the fan and I'm not going to be in front of my computer to deal with it. And it was like this situation where I'm my own boss and I'm a terrible boss because I'm not letting myself take any downtime or have a vacation. And that has changed drastically for me over the last 3 years, that now, I just went on this trip and our travel was completely screwed up by this storm. We actually ended up having to leave a day early. So I was, and the power went out at our Airbnb. So I had an entire day where I could not check my email if I wanted to. I was in airports and, all over, and it was super chaotic. So I had an entire day, a Tuesday, when I normally would have at least been checking in and making sure everything was going okay. And I couldn't do anything. I didn't check email and it was fine. Right? I didn't have the anxiety about it. And it was such a night and day difference from my last trip before the pandemic. We went to Chicago for the week and I was just like this the entire time. And it was like just so stressful. And, it was a night and day difference between those two trips. So I wanted to kind of have a quick chat about what is your experience with going on vacation as a self-employed person and how you deal with completely disconnecting, and any tips or ideas even for people who aren't self-employed, just how do you take a break and not let work stress infiltrate?
It's such a great question, and I want to hear more about your journey and sort of the steps that it took you to get to this place. But I mean, I would say I've had a few vacations that felt like real vacations, and they were really successful in that way. And then I've had other times when I've traveled and it hasn't been successful, and I thought, oh, I can do it. Remote working, and it's not a big deal to just pick up a call or connect with the client while I'm away. And it hasn't felt rewarding, So I think, and then this particular trip that we just went on over Christmas, we said, okay, because my husband and I learned over the summer, we took a month-long road trip. And then I had ended up getting a client, a great client just before the trip. So we said, well, we'll keep going with the trip and I'll just still do these calls and it will be fine. And it ended up being really stressful for me because I felt that I wasn't doing my best work, but then I also wasn't fully able to enjoy the moment with my family. And then it also put Adam in a position where he was doing a lot more scrambling because we were moving from place to place to figure out, okay, we'll get the kids out of the room at this time. Where will we take them, etc. So a number of factors on that trip. We just sort of thought, we came back exhausted.
Yeah.
And realized, it was like 1 foot in work, 1 foot out, and then 1 foot traveling in a place that we didn't even know where we were. And so it wasn't we had a lot of debrief conversations about that trip and realized we didn't nail it. We didn't nail that trip. And one of the things was, okay, well, we should just stay home when we need to work.
Yeah.
And then when we travel, completely give ourselves permission to not work. I mean, it sounds sort of obvious, but it's almost like another expression of it's just a lack of boundaries. And I think it's so great what you're saying, like as a self-employed person, it can feel so hard to have that. Similarly, working from home, sometimes I'm sort of working, sort of making dinner, sort of chatting to the kids, not doing anything well, and then feel horrible. I
Yeah.
feel like, well, I didn't achieve anything and I wasn't present. Like I didn't enjoy it. So to answer your question, I think I'm becoming it's not perfect, but I'm becoming a lot more intentional about, okay, this is 100% when I'm doing this. I'm working right now, or I'm not working. My computer's downstairs. My phone is downstairs. I'm not attempting to fix something, chat with someone, do anything. And the same thing with vacations. It's really like a mindset shift to say, okay, like this is this time and that's that time.
Yeah. I like that you brought up boundaries, because I think that is something that is really important, not just for self-employed people, though it is extremely important there, and not just for people who work from home, but just in general. Even if you are an employee, being able to have that boundary that, like, this is my vacation time. And it feels really scary, I think, for a lot of people to do that. I know when I was an employee, if I took a day off, there was a lot of guilt around it, and a lot of like, that even if you are on vacation or taking a day off, that you still have to keep up with what's happening there, because when you come back, you're going to have an inbox full of a million things, and you might have dropped the ball on something. And there was one of the mindset shifts that I really had to come around email, because it's constant, right? Like, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, what day of the week it is, there's always emails coming in. And there was a lot of pressure to respond quickly and to be available, because we can be, you can get email on your phone. You don't even have to have internet. You have your cell phone service, like whatever, you can get email anytime. So we have this pressure to respond no matter what. And I think the biggest shift for me was in realizing that, like, no one is like sending you an email and then staring at their inbox and waiting for you to reply. Like, they're sending it and you're going to get back to them when you get back to them. They're not waiting, for your reply immediately, which sounds so silly, but it does feel that way. When you get an email, it's like, I have to respond. And like, no one is sitting there waiting for your reply to come in.
Yeah, except for when they are.
Sure.
When you're, especially with like DMs, right?
Yeah.
Anything Slack or any of these channels, when the messages are coming in, there's an expectation often. I mean, I think that needs to be managed, but there can be an expectation to respond quickly right away. But the challenge with that is that energetically, suddenly there you are. So it's never just, 1 minute. It's, you've kind of brought your whole system and all of your thoughts to this place of work.
Yeah. So communication then is how you handle that. Is like, these are my boundaries. I am out of the office, and here is when I'll get back to you. Setting expectations of you will get a reply from me, but it won't be until this date.
Yeah. How did you sort of journey then from somebody who had a really hard time turning off for vacations, and now you're able to do it guilt-free? Like, what was your...
Well, there's a lot that went into it. But I think the major steps were, one, working with you on identifying my overachieving and perfectionistic tendencies, because those two together made me need to be available constantly, and need to be perfect in my communication, and need to never let anyone down, which is what being late in responding felt like I was letting people down. But the other thing was priorities, and figuring out, like, do I actually care about this thing? And that sounds bad to talk about, like, do I actually care about this thing for my job? But you can't care about your work 24/7 and your family 24. Like, you can't have that as your top priority all the time. So it was like, in this moment, what is my priority, and what do I care about right now. And is as soon as you shift that priority, like you said, you're taking the attention away from what you wanted to be focusing on. So having that intention of what my priority was. Um, and then the last thing I would say was just knowing that I have systems in place. So I have a task list and I have things that I know X, Y, and Z still have to get done even when I'm out of the office. And I have done those. I've checked the things that could go wrong. I can't control anything else.
Yeah, so this isn't about just being irresponsible.
No.
Right. And just throwing it all to the wind. It's about saying I've done what I can do and now I'm making a choice.
Yeah.
And so I love that you brought up the overachieving and perfectionism. And I think that will be a great segue to our main topic for today.
Yeah.
But before we go there, I wanted to touch on your second point, which was around, you said prioritization. And you said, we cannot care about everything at one time. And something that came up for me when you said that is, yes, you're right. And yet I think right now there's this myth the myth has been around for a while, but I think during COVID and work from home, it's grown, this idea of multitasking.
Yeah.
Well, we can just do it. I can just have a conversation while I'm making a sandwich.
Yeah.
And that one might be possible. But the point is more, working while you're getting things done at home, while you're having a meeting, while you're driving.
Yeah.
Planning something while you're, helping your kids with something, So I think that has become so expected for many of us, and sometimes that's imposed on us from the workplace. Yeah. But the challenge is then, that's normalized. And then the prioritization also, what I was thinking when you were describing that, is about presence. It's saying like, I'm going to be fully present for this. I'm going to be fully present. I'm here with my sisters and my mom in the Grand Canyon. Of course, I don't want to be, checking in on, small work tasks. I want to be fully here and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's a, more significant thing. It's a trip and it took a lot of planning, but you could say the same thing about dinner with CK or whatever it is. Like, I want to be fully present for this moment in my life, and I'm not if I'm doing something else at once. That's something that really became abundantly clear to me over the pandemic. I felt, and there were so many, it wasn't my fault. There were so many challenges with having work and the kids at home, but I thought I don't feel fully present in anything that I'm doing because I'm doing many things at one time.
Yeah.
And it was really deeply unsatisfying.
I completely agree with that and have had the same experience. And journaling is one of the things that I think helps solidify that perspective, because when I look back at my journal, the things that I remember writing about or the things that were impactful were the moments with my loved ones or the times when I was really present. And so I've started thinking, like, what do I want to remember from this time in my life? And in 5 years, what's actually going to matter? And right now, for me, what is going to matter is time with my mom, time with my loved ones, time that I can't get back in the future, right? I can work anytime. I can't necessarily, in 15 years, maybe I won't be able to spend time with my mom. So like now that is the priority. And yes, there has to be balance. Of course, in life, you have to continue to make an income, but you can, through mindfulness and presence and trying to focus more on doing one thing at a time, you can be better at all of the things that you need to do if you're able to focus and put your energy into one thing rather than having chaos.
I love it. Yeah, you can be better at what you're doing and you can enjoy your life more.
Yeah.
Right? And I love the question you posed. What do I want to remember? And we could say that about every day. I think that's actually a great segue to our topic, which is, how to celebrate without winning. What did we say? Winning without wins. How
Yeah.
do we celebrate every day? Right.
Yeah.
So this idea of like, what do I want to remember about today? I don't want to wait until I run a marathon to
Yeah.
celebrate and remember the day. I don't want to run a marathon ever.
No.
So if I'm waiting for that or any kind of version, like I don't want to have to wait for that.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that struggle with that, which is, I'll be happy when. I will enjoy life when.
Hmm.
And there's two ways that can go. Either maybe you never get to that when, and
Hmm.
so then you are never happy, or you do get to that thing that you said, I'll be happy when, and you get there and then you're still not happy.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
So,
happy for a short time and then it wears off.
right. And then the
Yeah.
goalpost moves and you're like, okay, well, then I'll be happy and then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out how to be happy now, how to celebrate now, how to enjoy your life while still going after whatever you want to achieve. It's not to say you just go, oh, well, I'm happy, so I'm just not going to do anything. It's like, what is
Yeah.
that balance of today was awesome and I didn't really do anything special?
Mhm.
That's okay too.
Yeah. I didn't really do anything special. Yeah. You know what I love about this that I think really kind of strikes me is this idea, like if we think about the concept of winning, if somebody's winning, then you think, well, somebody's losing. Like it's if there's a
Mm,
competitive nature to the concept.
sure.
So I think the whole premise is flawed because we're thinking, well, I have to be better than someone in order to feel good. I
Yeah.
have to be the one that achieves this.
That it's a zero
And
sum game.
yeah, right. I have to be more special to
Yeah.
feel worthy of loving myself
Yeah.
and to feel worthy of celebration. So I like what you said, like, even though I didn't do anything special, I celebrate myself today and I celebrate the world.
There's the concept in mindfulness about how everything changes. Basically, that is
Mm-hmm.
the idea of
Mm-hmm.
mindfulness. That anything that can arise can also dissipate or disappear. So we have this idea that, like I said, that when you get something, when you achieve something, that you'll be happy. But if you kind of sit in the presence of that, happiness can arise no matter what else is going on, and unhappiness can arise even when everything is going right. Like there, anything can arise at any time, and the circumstances actually don't have anything to do with how you respond or how you feel about it. You can be in almost any situation and you have control over how you respond to it and how you either like cling to the idea that you need to achieve a certain thing, or do make more money, or run faster, or whatever that goal is. You have the control over how you respond to what's happening, what's arising, and whether you cling to dissatisfaction or unhappiness, or whether you choose to just kind of stay more in a flow and let things come and let things go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And speaking of that, there's something around um, what, like, yeah, releasing this idea that we can control,
Yeah,
right? That we can,
sure.
like, we need to know, I need to know what I'm going to do in order to feel good, or I need to know that I'm going to achieve these things before I feel good about myself. So there's something around, yeah, this idea of flow and acceptance. That's very powerful.
So if you had a client come to you,
Mm-hmm.
because you do work with goal setting and figuring out what people want to achieve and how to get there. So if you had a client come to you and you worked on goal setting and figuring out what their plan is,
Mm-hmm.
how would you incorporate that they're setting a path, and you can be happy now on the way to achieving those things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great question. So yes, I mean, a huge part of my work is and business is around helping people achieve their goals, whether those relate to communication goals or various other professional leadership goals or life goals. So that's its own journey of sort of excavating alignment with the goal, with the client's true values and purpose, and ensuring that it's resonant and that it's really meaningful and sustainable long term, and is going to give them the desired impact that they want. So that's certainly one part of it. And then the second part, in terms of how to encourage you not to fully rely on that goal, because the challenge is, don't wait until you achieve the goal to love yourself. Love yourself now, whether you hit the goal or not. Right? Achieving the goal is something you want to do because you're a human and you want to grow. As humans, we want to grow, we want to change, we want to evolve. That's great. We should. Right? So that's in service of expressing ourselves as humans. The danger, though, is when we tie our worth to achieving that.
Yeah.
So do that. And at the same time, let's talk about how you're worthy of accepting yourself for who you are, flaws and all, right? Yeah. Accepting yourself for what you do bring to the world, for what you have overcome, for the impact you already make in your own world, your individual world, your family, your community, your workplace, society, whatever it is. Let's celebrate you for who you are, and practice not tying your worth to this achievement. Mm-hmm. And both can happen simultaneously, and they both support each other. The more we love and accept ourselves, the more willing we are to go for those big goals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that I and probably most people think that it's the other way around. They mm-hmm. think that you achieve the goal and then you get the happiness and the confidence. Yeah. But it's actually the other way around, that you have the happiness and confidence, and that allows you to achieve the goal.
Yeah. You've experienced that, haven't you?
Definitely. For sure. Yeah. I think that the biggest example for me is just in my career. Mm. Obviously, it's taken time for me to build the confidence that I have. I've been doing what I do for 20 years, but I know if I go into a sales call, for instance, or if I go into a difficult call with a client, if I come in with confidence and positivity, the call goes better. If I went into it with fear and, being meek and worried about what the outcome is going to be, it's not going to go as well. So how you approach a situation and the confidence that you go in with, even if sometimes you have to fake it, it does set you up for a better outcome. But I think two of the things that you mentioned in there were really interesting to me. One, I noted that being mindful of your accomplishments on a day-to-day basis, no matter what they are, even if they're not aligned with your goal, if it's just something else, that can build your confidence as you're going. So gratitude journaling and, anything there where it's reflection on what you did or what you achieved or what went well that day. Not even a win, just like I made, a really tasty dinner. Anything
Absolutely.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything like that makes you focus on the positive, because we do have negativity bias, right? At the end of the day, it's very easy to think about all of the things that went wrong and to ignore all of the things that went well. So we have to put intentional focus on what went well so that we can manifest more of that rather than manifesting more of the things that don't go as well. Because what you focus on grows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And we have to take control. We can't just allow our brain to, to focus on what it wants to focus on, because it'll focus on our mistakes.
Yes, always.
That's why we're still replaying the dumb thing we said 2 weeks ago.
Or 20 years ago.
Or 20 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a quick anecdote about that, which something that I started a few years ago was telling people the stories that my brain retells. So there's like embarrassing things that you've done in your life, and the more you keep them private, the more they like wake you up at night and tell you what an idiot you were for doing whatever it
Mm.
was. So I started telling people my embarrassing stories. I
Okay.
actually went on Instagram and I told some stories of things that are like just the dumb things that like you don't think about for 5 years, and then all of a sudden you think about it and you're like, oh my god, that was so embarrassing, I can't believe I did that. Those
Yeah.
kind of things that are harmless but they stick in your
Yeah.
brain, as soon as you tell them to people and like get them out there, they lose their power.
Yes.
So
Yeah. It's true.
it's true.
It's so true.
Yeah. One of the other things that you said was focusing on your values and how those are involved in what you want to achieve. And I think that it's really easy for people to make that association of like, this value has to do with this goal that I have in the future. But we also need to think about how those values are at play every single day in your life, and make that connection of, you know, one of my values is freedom. And I was not honoring that value by making myself so anxious that I couldn't take a vacation, right? Like that, I was doing the exact opposite of what I value the most.
Mm.
So, intentionally focusing on what do I want today? Yes, what do I want a year from now? What am I working towards? But like, what do I want today? How do I want to feel today and every day?
Mhm. Yeah, and it's that accumulation, those become the wins,
Yeah.
right? That becomes, what do I want to remember? Because it's the small things. We talked about that last time as well, right? How it's often the small things. So by focusing on your values and focusing on creating small wins every day for yourself to celebrate, that's a great path forward that will bring more joy every day, more fulfillment every day, versus
Mhm.
waiting for one big thing
Yeah.
to celebrate.
Yep. So a lot of times people talk about enjoying the process and
Yeah.
feeling wins as you go
Ah.
rather than waiting for the big win.
Mhm.
And I have two sort of parallel things that I can talk about along that vein. And one is that last year I decided I would start running, which is not something I enjoy,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
I had the goal of running a trail race because CK likes to run trail races. So I thought, well, that's a goal that I can have. I can try and do this thing. So I had this huge goal of being able to run a 5K in, you know, up and down hills and through rocks and, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff. But I would go out 3 days a week in the morning and I would run what I could.
Mhm.
And whatever I could run that day was fine. Like
Mhm.
there wasn't any like, oh, I didn't go fast enough today or I didn't go far. It was really hard.
Mhm.
And the shift for me was realizing that it has to be hard. If it wasn't hard, I wasn't working hard enough to achieve the goal. So the reason that
Like
was a big,
like it's supposed to be hard.
it is supposed to be hard.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
how it's supposed to feel. Yeah.
This is how it's supposed to
It's
be.
not
And
a
I,
problem.
right. Right. Because I
Yeah.
think, you know, we start doing things and it's like, well, this is hard, and you quit. And at least I, you know, I have that story for sure. I've done that many times where I pick up things and I'm not immediately good at it,
Mhm.
which I have no reason to immediately be good at it. But for some reason, we think that we should be able to just magically do new things and be good at them. And so
Mhm.
the kind of mantra that I had when I was running was, this is supposed to be hard. This is
Mhm.
supposed like, and if it's not hard, you have to
Mhm.
make it harder, because that's the only way you get better is by doing harder things.
Mhm.
Running further, running faster is how you run further and faster.
It's so amazing. I mean, it's so simple, but it's true, because as humans, we don't want something to feel hard. We want to feel
No.
good.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I have a lot of friends who were overachieving students.
Mhm.
So, you know, we went through grade school, high school, maybe even college, not having to work that hard. Like classes came pretty easy, homework was easy, and we kind of coasted through. And then you're an adult and it's like, oh, we're not in school anymore. Things are hard now. And
Yeah.
so we didn't get that muscle of having to work hard to achieve things. So then when we try, it's really easy to give up because we didn't learn how to work hard at.
Yeah, that's something that is not uncommon that I'll hear from clients
Yeah.
for whom they might already be excelling at work, and a lot of their professional achievements haven't felt like that much of a stretch. Whereas learning a new skill or improving a relationship or going in a new direction, maybe making a pivot in their career, feels very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because really it is starting like at a beginner level, and
Yep.
that's very humbling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we can feel overwhelmed, like, oh, can I actually do this? Is it possible for me to learn this?
Yeah.
And will it get easier? Because when we're in the moment and it feels so uncomfortable, it feels like it will never get easier. But it does. But you're right. It is that you had that commitment of 3 times a week or whatever it is every day, or 3 times a week, frequently forcing yourself to do it or committing to doing it. And then it does become easier.
Right. So you have to learn to think of a win not as running the race, or even for me, it couldn't be running a mile every time I went out. That couldn't be the win. The win had to just be, I tried. I went out and I did what I could today.
Mm-hmm.
And that had to be enough, because not every day is going to be a great run. You're not going to feel amazing every day. You're not going to be able to accomplish everything every time you do it.
Yeah, so you're celebrating your effort, not your result.
Yes.
Or you're reframing your result. Your result is showing up.
Yep, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then recently I decided to relearn to play the piano. I played it when I was a kid and then quit. And so I was like, I'm going to relearn to play the piano. And I'm not very good at it yet because I just started again. It's been 35 years since I played. So it's very humbling. So with that, my win is I did the lesson. It might not have been good, but I did it. So it's the same thing. I put in the effort. And an important thing there for me is having a limit on what that effort needs to be. So I could very easily get into a cycle where I sit down and I did one lesson and it went well. So I'm going to do a second lesson and that went well. And I did a third lesson. Like, you can really get wrapped up in it. So I put a limit. I'm only allowed to do one lesson. So no matter how well I'm doing per day.
Do you do it daily?
Yes.
Okay.
And no matter how much I'm enjoying it or how well I'm doing or whatever, I have to quit when I finish.
You're keeping your little hyperachiever in check.
I am. But it's a tip that I actually got from listening to how professional writers approach writing, because a lot of them will have a dedicated time where they sit down, or a certain number of words that they write every day, and they write that many or for that amount of time. And no matter what is happening at the end of their limit, they quit. Even if they're on a roll, even if they're doing really well, they quit at the end of that commitment, because they know that anything after that is either not going to be good, or they will kind of exhaust themselves. And so it's just this commitment that this is what I'm going to do.
It's sort of like it's setting yourself up so that you show up again tomorrow.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And you can apply that to anything. You can apply it to work. You can apply it to family time. You can apply it to whatever you're trying to achieve, that this is what I'm committing to. And you know when that time ends, when that commitment ends. So you don't feel the guilt of, I didn't put enough time in with my kids or whatever, whatever your thing is, because you made a certain commitment and you honored that commitment. So at the end of it, you can say, I did it.
I love it. Okay. So what we've been talking about is celebrating effort, celebrating showing up versus a particular result.
Yep.
We talked about celebrating with gratitude,
Yep.
right? I also just wanted to say that we can celebrate, just to sort of, again, sort of remove this needing to achieve things in order to celebrate. We can celebrate other, because celebration is such a nice, joyful thing to do. It feels amazing. We can shift the focus and we can celebrate others.
Yeah.
Right? We can say, okay, well, how can I celebrate others? How can I make someone's day today?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Celebrating, we can celebrate the world. We can celebrate the city or country that we live in, or world that we're part of, or community we've chosen. We can celebrate somebody that we look up to. How can I promote them today, or show my appreciation for them?
Yeah, I really like that because it does kind of feed back on you. When you celebrate anything, it makes you feel better. And again, when you feel better, you can do better.
Yeah. And why does it always have to be me? Like, I did these things we're celebrating. Like, it's so, in a way, you're letting yourself off the hook and saying, wow, I don't have to be responsible for creating all of the sources of celebration. I can look around me and see so many people and so much information and so many things we're celebrating.
Yeah. I'm not the center of the universe.
No. Absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
But again, that's the mindset shift, right? That's like telling yourself, because your brain will say that you are.
Yeah.
My brain will say that I am. Your brain will say that you are, and that you're not doing enough. That's just what our brain does. So instead, yes, celebrate ourselves, acknowledge ourselves for showing up, but then finding ways to feel excited and get that boost from looking around at other senses of inspiration and awe and marvel. Like, we don't have to be the only source. We can't be. And how boring would the world be? Right. But I think it's a mindset shift, to saying, oh, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm choosing to celebrate, this person, this beauty, this work of art. I'm going to honor it in some way and really appreciate it and experience joy from it.
And I think that goes back to what you were saying about it not being a zero-sum game. Because if you are taking that time to appreciate something that someone else has created or done, you're taking that competition out, and you can really just see the greatness everywhere and not think about like, well, I have to win. I have to be the greatest or whatever.
I have to be the one who's being celebrated.
Right, right. There's this book that I'm reading by Joseph Goldstein. It's called Mindfulness, A Practical Guide to Awakening. Ooh. And he talks about ways in your mindfulness or meditation practice if you are struggling. And one of the things is to take the emphasis off of yourself and to think about that you are being mindful for the greater good. Yes, it benefits you, but ultimately the practice is to show up better in the world and to do better for everyone else.
Right. So it's really about your impact on making a more positive impact on the world.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's the same kind of concept here, is the things that you want to achieve in your life, the wins that you're going for, are probably not just for you. Yes. They are for your family. They're for your loved ones. They're for whoever you're creating your art for, or whatever it is. So taking that focus off of yourself and that pressure off of yourself to be the one achieving that thing, you can kind of think about it more in a global perspective.
I like it. So we've talked about some of the different ways that we can celebrate without official big wins, right? Sort of broadening our understanding of what celebration, different ways we can bring more celebration to every day. Now, what I'd love to hear from you, like, what are actual ways that you would celebrate? Like, what does celebrating even mean to you?
So I think for me at this point, um, you know, I used to be the kind of person where celebration had to be an event, right? So we would go out to dinner or, drinks or some sort of an event like that. The pandemic obviously changed a lot of that, but I think for me now, the celebration is more in the moment and being present for it as it's happening. So, using the cooking a yummy dinner kind of example, because it's kind of an everyday thing that we have to do. If you are present in the moment and actually enjoying it as it's happening, the impact of the win is so much greater than kind of breezing through it and then later going, oh yeah, that was really great, I did that thing. So it's the presence and kind of what you were talking about being fully in the thing that you're doing.
Mm. Yeah, it's like an awareness or a naming of it. I'm
Yeah.
doing this in celebration of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that resonates with me too.
How do
Yeah,
you
being
celebrate?
similar. I also, I mean, I love nice dinners, right? I do. So I do love that. Going out or going to a nice place, trying a new place. So there are those, and I am becoming more and more fond and aware of sort of the daily rituals and how
Yeah.
meaningful that can be. So yeah, spending the time to make a nice meal, which is something I didn't do for years. I
Mm.
really stopped cooking when I had kids. Like I would prepare things
Yeah.
we eat, but I stopped, getting a recipe and following it because I just sort of thought I don't have time, or I'm choosing not spend my time on this.
Yeah.
So now rediscovering that, oh, I actually do know how to read recipes, and it's worth it sometimes to follow this and have a nice meal. So that sort of thing, or buying myself flowers to put on the table, or cleaning up so that everything feels fresh for the
Yeah.
next day, or taking a moment to enjoy my dog sitting on my feet and reading my book. So it
Yeah.
is those daily moments, and I have a lot of awareness of saying, okay, this is me right now enjoying my life.
Yeah.
This is me making a choice to take a pause and do this thing which I love, which is reading historical fiction on my sofa. Which, if I don't make a point of doing it, could feel like such a luxury, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of it is that awareness and the naming piece.
And that is important, what you just said there, of taking a pause, because I think you can get caught in the momentum of like, I just accomplished this thing. What's the next thing I can accomplish?
Yeah.
And it is important to stop and appreciate what you have accomplished and then recharge, fill your tank
Yeah.
so that you can accomplish the next thing.
Yeah. And it's reminding me, I can't give credit because I don't remember where I read it, but it was like a billboard, and it said, self-care isn't the reward, self-care is the journey.
Mm.
And I think you could replace self-care with any number of words that feel resonant for you.
Sure.
I mean, in this case, we could call it celebration.
Yeah.
And by celebration, it's like appreciating life.
Yeah.
It's not the reward, it's the journey. And that's not to say we're not working hard and we're not being responsible. We are doing those things. And at the same time, how can we do that while cultivating appreciation and joy and ease and a sense of fulfillment?
Yeah. It kind of takes us full circle back to the vacation thing, because I think so many people, work themselves to the bone all year long to have this 1 or 2 week vacation. And so they're like stressed out the entire year, and then they go hog wild on vacation and, drink everything and eat everything and just,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and they then come back from vacation with like vacation hangover, and then it's like back to the day to day. And it's like, how do you take all of that celebration
Mm-hmm.
in your 1 or 2 week vacation and like spread it out throughout the year? How do you get that equanimity so that you don't feel like I'm just working to get to the vacation? Like, how can you enjoy every day in tiny moments?
Yes. Tiny moments. One of our themes that's
Yes,
emerging.
it is. It is. I was reading an article this morning about how the most important phrase for the success of a relationship is thank you. Simply saying thank you. So it's just tiny moments.
Thank you. Noting that one to use later with my husband many times. All night I'm going to be thanking him for everything.
Yeah. So let's see. We talked a little bit about my hobbies, but I think that's one of the things that is um, harder and harder as we get older is having hobbies. Time is scarce. Learning new things is really hard. And so we don't. And I think that having a hobby can be a really great way to have wins and have celebration and do something that is not tied to work, not tied to achievement, just something that is purely fun. And it can be anything. It could be reading, it could be playing the piano, it can be whatever, but you can use a hobby as a way to have daily celebration, daily wins, daily enjoyment and fun that isn't tied to some grander goal or
Yeah. And the good thing about a hobby is that it's already predetermined for you because sometimes, like your activity or your celebration can be predetermined. Because sometimes where we can fall is we get overwhelmed. Well, I don't know what to do.
yeah.
Right. Where I don't know, like, fine, I should take time for myself. Doing what? Right. I don't remember what
Right.
I like anymore. So if we say, like, I want to work on, art. Like a lot of people who I work with want to express themselves with writing or with painting or with collage or something tactile with the hands. I have someone, she's doing pottery, and I love that kind of thing as well. So if you decide in advance, this is what I'm going to be diving into for the next little while, this is a hobby I want to explore, then you've already made that decision. You can get the supplies, you can get what you need. Or I want to read, I want to, get back into novels. This is something I did a few years ago. I've just gone right back into novels. It's brought me so much joy. So I know I buy a whole bunch, I stack up from the library, and then I've got them, right? Same thing that you can do with a new hobby, whatever it is, or if it's, taking care of plants, or if it's learning a new language, you can get the app. You can sort of set yourself up so that when it's your time for fun, you know what to do already.
Mm-hmm. And you have to go into it knowing that you're not going to be any good at it at the beginning. And that's okay.
True.
Just doing it is the win.
Just doing it is the win.
Yeah.
Just doing it is the win. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like what you said about hobbies. And yeah, so for me, reading has been a big one. I'm getting back into cooking, and also learning Spanish.
Mm.
Um, very, very beginner. As you said, I have to know that I'm not good at it. I'm officially not. Yeah, but it's been fun.
I
It's
think,
been
and
fun, and also making things. I've started, but my daughter also loves making things, and so we've been making candles. And yeah, I bought a bunch of stickers, and it's just very satisfying to be making things with my hands.
that's a great combo there of having a hobby plus quality time with family. That's a double win.
It is a double win. It is a double win. And I appreciated what you said before about as adults, it can be hard. And I was thinking about this because we actually were somewhere and they had tennis rackets. And so we were all, my two kids and my husband and I were trying to, hit the ball back and forth. And I said, you know what? I would love to learn tennis because it's something that we could do. And, as we continue on in our years, it could be like a fun thing that we could do together as a couple and stay fit. And it's not super competitive. And
Yeah.
you don't need to buy a ton of gear. And the kids said, oh, we want to learn tennis too. And then I'm thinking, okay, for you guys, there's, tennis camps, there's tennis lessons, there's anything of it. Should we choose to invest in that? Should we be able to and choose to invest in it? There are many options for them. Yeah. For adults, there's not that much available if you're not already part of this community and how, when you're part of a club, like they could go for a whole summer every single day. They don't have those kinds of things for adults.
Yeah.
So it really takes a lot more effort to learn a new thing. Or my younger guy is, he's going to be taking a camp in biking. I'm actually not very confident biking.
I'm not either.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, do people just assume all adults love biking and we don't need a camp? Whereas he can just go to learn the skill.
Yeah.
It's practically much harder for adults.
It's practically harder. And then also just taking the time out of your day and saying, I'm going to make it a priority to do this thing that's not adulting. It's not working. It's not cooking. It's not cleaning. It's strictly fun Yeah. And if you think of it as, if you struggle with that, if you struggle with setting aside time for a hobby or something fun, if you think about the way that it will benefit the rest of your life, it can be a little bit easier to make time in your schedule for it, because there's, this concept of like the plasticity of your brain, and that the more you learn and the more diverse skills you pick up, the better you become at everything else. So it's kind of hard to think about, but playing tennis or learning to be better at riding a bike could make you a better leadership coach. So you can think of anything that you learn as benefiting everything else that you do.
I love that. And I love the reminder that everything is connected and nothing is wasted, which is something that, a thought that I've gone back to over the years, because I've done so many different things. I've lived in these places, tried different careers, and really sort of experienced a lot of things. And I haven't always, my path has felt more circuitous than linear often. Yeah. And so then I remember, that's what made me who I am. And that's how I have sort of the range of perspectives I do. Nothing was ever a waste. So I like what you're saying. Same thing about pursuing new interests and like following your urge, like, oh, this feels interesting, do it. And I also, that sort of little diversion about how hard it is for adults was really meant as an acknowledgement that I think what you said is true. Number one, it's hard to take time out of our schedule because we have a lot of demands. We have so much with work and taking care of life outside of work. So then to carve out time is one thing, first challenge. And then the second challenge is, well, how do I even do it? Like what, how do I figure out how to learn how to do this thing? What's the best way and what are the tools? So there are a number of steps. And I guess what I want to leave people with is the encouragement that it's worth it. You can figure it out. You are creative and resourceful. And if you feel stuck with, well, what should I do and how should I get started? Ask someone to help you. Brainstorm, because it's worth it.
Yeah.